think away from Iraq for me for a second. As you know, you had experience in the Mediterranean, special with the Navy SEALs. You now have what some people call the largest private army in the world. Is that true?
Not at all.
Name one that's larger.
I don't have a private army. There's a ton of contractors in Iraq that have thousands more people working for them than I do.
1,000 more soldiers working for them. People who are doing online business, not just private contractors. No, people who are involved in action.
People in Iraq, other companies that have thousands of Iraqis or Nepalese or Chileans or Peruvians or other third country national soldiers doing security work for the DoD. We don't have the largest.
So you're not the largest private army in the world, as somebody wrote.
By no means. Terribly inaccurate. We have a big database. We're imagine the security work that we do, okay, as a very robust temp agency, because they're temporary professional positions. You have very detailed standards that we have to hire them to, and I take you through the recruiting, the vetting, the equipping, the training. We do all of that, and we turn them over to operational control, and they fill that job dictated by the U.S. government customer. So we have a big database of people. We have 55 plus PhDs, people that are expert in civic water projects, electrical power grids, sanitation, agricultural experts, helicopter pilots. We've got a wide variety of folks that have language skills, of all kinds of different skills that they can operate in dangerous areas, because we do technical services, the stuff that lets U.S. government operate in remote areas. Construction, getting the water on, getting the power on, securing food supplies, flying stuff. We do a large amount of aviation support in Afghanistan. We fly about 1,000 missions a month for the Air Force, supporting the U.S. Army. I'm proud to say we deliver literally to the last mile beans, bullets, ammunition, food, water, mail to the troops in the field, into a lot of remote forward operating bases that the bigger U.S. Air Force aircraft can't get to.
And you have also argued with me when I went to visit you that your people have been willing to go places that other people were not prepared to go, including the military, you have said.
Well, sometimes we go places they can't. Last week when the Polish ambassador was in Baghdad, was attacked by insurgents, by EFPs again. One of his personnel were killed. We were not protecting him, but he needed to be evac'd. We were able to put one of our helicopters, a small one, flown by very professional pilots. And if you look back on the pictures, there's some video of the helicopter landing. You can see power lines on one side and light poles on the other. An Army helicopter couldn't have fit there, but our guys went and did that job, above and beyond the call of duty.
George Clooney, the actor, was on my television program recently. He said to me, he got a call from you, suggesting, because of his interest in Darfur, that if they let you, you could do what in Darfur?
What we, as an idea to at least evaluate. Imagine a force of just some professional advisors, a couple hundred folks that could go and help the African Union or the UN soldiers be even better at their jobs. Help them make sure their vehicles are running, that they have a communications plan, that they have batteries and radios, the basic elements of soldiering, to get them out there, to get them patrolling, to give them some helicopter medevac support, so that if one of them gets hurt, troops, it's a fact, they do better if they know that they're going to get taken care of if something bad happens.
So it's a support mission. It wasn't, as someone also said about you, because how much you love the Navy SEALs, that you have dreamed of creating this private army that could be a lightning-quick response and deal with circumstances like Rwanda, like Darfur, and perhaps other hotspots, essentially saying, let me take care of it. I can do this. I have the men, I have the skill, I have the training, I have the know-how. Let me take over some of the responsibilities of peacekeeping in the world.
No, that's too far of an assumption. But who can watch the movie Hotel Rwanda and not wish it had a different outcome? Who didn't wish that the UN would have sent troops or yanked those Belgian commandos back there to secure that hotel and to provide some safe havens? You let almost a million people in a country about the size of Maryland get killed by farm tools over 4 months.
And what would you have done, and what would Blackwater have done if you were given a carte blanche to go in there and make sure it doesn't happen?
We didn't exist then.
Well, suppose you existed then, with the capability you have now. What would you have done?
Well, again, we can't do anything without U.S. government authority and permission.
You had authority and permission, let's assume. What would you have done? And what could you have done?
Without wading into that political minefield, I can see where the U.S. military didn't want to go there because they just had an enormous shootout 6 months earlier in Somalia.
But you would have been prepared to go there.
During a peacekeeping mission.
You would have been prepared to go. Your men would have been prepared to go if paid the right price.
I'm saying it's within the realm of possibility that a private organization could marshal the resources to provide some safe havens for people that are subject to ethnic slaughter, and at least provide them some safe havens to keep them alive and not dead until the UN troops could arrive.
So you're basically saying Erik is prepared to go on peacekeeping missions before the UN can go, before other people can go. We want to do that. That's what we're qualified and trained to do.
I can't go and offer those kind of offensive services. I'm saying if...
Have you thought about it? Have you thought about this might be a place I'd like to go?
Again, you watch the movie Hotel Rwanda, or sometimes in April or one of those, and say, man, someone's got to do something. And, if someone asked us to do that, to say, hey, go send 500 or 600 folks to create some safe, secure the airport, take that radio station off the air so that it's not inciting the Hutus to keep killing the Tutsis. Yes, private sector could have done that, and we would welcome the oversight. Send 50 U.S. military advisors or UN military officers from some country. Send them along. Make it a joint operation, but someone do something before that happens again.
Any reason for that not to be done? Because a lot of people hear that. They know you could do it. They know you have capabilities, but they say, it's just something about that. It's something about paying some people.
And that's why I'm not a policy guy. We're just about providing people with options.
Someone talking about you and what you have done there. You inherited a lot of money from your father, and you invested a lot. You have a huge capital investment in North Carolina and the best training facilities of anybody. And law enforcement people send people there, and the U.S. military sends people there, and the Navy sends people there, and that's the business you're in, and that's what you were doing before 9/11.
We train.
Some say that you, though, because of the experiences you've had, think of yourself as a kind of Bruce Wayne, kind of Batman, living in your place.
No.
Going out at night to fight the bad guys.
Not at all.
How do you see yourself?
I see myself as my family's been very blessed by America. First generation, or second generation, and third generation Dutch on both sides of the family. My grandmother's family came from the Netherlands during the war. America welcomed her family and moved to a town with all dirt streets during World War I. America's been very good. It is truly the land of opportunity. My dad started something from nothing, and I've been very blessed by his success, and I'm trying to do my part. I joined the military. I got out of the military for some valid reasons, and trying to give back and make the military better, stronger, faster, so they can adapt to the changing threats.
Make them be that way from outside.
Providing them some options to help them with their training, with the support kind of stuff that they need. We have the finest military in the world. Conventional forces, I mean, what they did to Saddam in '91, what they did to Saddam again in 2003, moving men and equipment, tanks, mount up the artillery, maneuver warfare, absolutely world class. But to shift now to a fourth generation war where you're trying to find cells of bad guys instead of divisions or brigades of bad guys, it's a very different kind of fight. And the U.S. military needs help in, when you try to turn an organization that much, you create gaps. And those gaps, I believe, can be filled by the private sector until DOD can catch up to it.
And what are the gaps?
Gaps in training, gaps in their security, the changing nature of their training to go from engaging the enemy with artillery and rockets to having to engage them with small arms at very close range. Driving. We provide a lot of driving training to the U.S. military. It's my understanding the second largest cause of deaths in Iraq is from vehicle accidents. First is roadside bombs, Second is vehicle accidents. So we provide a lot of driver training. Again, driving fully armored Humvees. They're top heavy. They're really designed to carry that much armor. They can be unsafe.